Today is April 11th, 2025. Well, you wouldn't believe it. Well, it got a little better with the last video, but there were still people, and you wouldn't believe. Down in Soul's Palace in Millersburg, there was people still falling for that family's lies of being offended. Hey, morons. They confessed to the FBI March 27th, 25. They made everything up. They were never offended. They made up the whole story so people would help out with it over a year ago. You're slow. They already told the FBI they made the whole thing up to get away with this. They were never offended. They played you like a fool. And everybody else. And another investigator said it's super loud. Walmart West test, March 20th, 26th, by the electronics. How that family already confessed to an FBI agent a year ago that they made everything up. They were never offended and they made the whole scenario up. So, retard that showed up and said that family really needs to get over it. That minister lied on her 20 years ago. They already told the FBI they made it all up. They lied. Okay. Okay. All right. Then, oh my Lord. My Lord. Okay. I told you about all the surgeries and even my kidney being having surgery and I got a 5-inch scar. It does cause muscle weakness in your legs and even loss of use, sometimes permanent. Then you put all that swelling on all those different, areas that had surgery all over my stomach and my back. Swelling on those damaged muscles really puts pressure on them. They go numb. Nerve ends didn't get time to heal. You put swelling on top. Well, of course, there was stupid retards in there that Will watches her walk on that treadmill. There's no way she could have ever had back surgery. You fucking retard. That was 23 years ago or more. Maybe 25 years ago. And like Dr. Eli said, he had a lady not quite as bad as I was. He had her running on a treadmill in 9 months in an intense workout. But she didn't have all of that body swelling in it. It just took me forever. See what I mean? It took me 9 months to learn to walk. She could already run. Get the idea? You can learn to reuse your muscles. You can re-strengthen them. They may not be like they used to. You may not have the strength you used to. But you still can do it. You have to retrain your body and your muscles. And yes, you can. And he is just a scammer. Then there was some guy who looked at me. He had black hair, dark eyes. Just looked right at me. And I thought I've seen someone that looked like that before. I looked away. Heard another guy on the other side. You need to tell everyone in the cartel not to say a word to her ever again. I didn't find it one bit funny, any of those drug dealers, what they did to her before for her ex-husband. She didn't do anything wrong. And they were doing all this to her. And they're all acting like they're going to steal all the case's money. And that agent was in that other office bragging he already gave it all away. And there's nothing. Now, he's already bragged he gave it all away and just handed it out as he got it. There's nothing to steal, so why are people harassing her? Well, let's see, 2018, 2019. They said they were going to run a scam. Who could come up with the best scam to steal my informant money? And they were going to hand it out. So all these people start coming at me, thieves. They never got it. They scammed them. Like May 25th, 25, Hollister's in Summit Mall. Boy, did Bill from the Freemason run the biggest scam here. He had somebody drug her up and tell her to say that before. Imagine somebody going in and drugging somebody up and tell them to say something like that. And then he had somebody take a video of her washing herself in the shower and then put that in the other room. Ran the biggest scam of who could come up with the best scam to steal her money. Scammed everybody into helping out and we're laughing. That's where May 26, 25, Walmart 62, the cartel's complaining how they were laughing about this in Summit Mall. Okay. Now, I want you to think. April 10th, 2026. Yesterday. I am in the VA on my street. We turned in papers of notarized statements of people knowing that his son Rick, where they even they incited Rick to go at him to steal his farm. Okay? Carl's statement, mine, of Dazzy, her friends, his daughter Audrey. Then mean text messages how he was going to have him found incompetent. And he was going to tell people, and then how he was setting him up for beating that horse. And he didn't beat that horse when he went down there. And pictures of the horse. Then even text message how he felt bad, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's bad. I have more horrible text message so that they know why Carl's scared. And, they're the ones wanting Adult Protective Services to take care of Rick for terrorizing Carl. He was never entitled to Carl's farm. It was only Carl's. Carl could have left it to the Humane Society. He was never entitled to take it from his dad. He was never entitled to inherit it. Carl could always write him off. See, this entitlement to steal and victimize people is sick. Definitely not legal. Okay. Well, we go in there. There is an older white guy and an African American guy. I hand them the papers. I ask them if they could add it to Carl's file. That guy said, "That's Karen?" He said, "Yeah." They said she didn't care how she looks when she goes out. And he said that I allowed, and I told the police when an attorney reported the tape of Weird with Yourself, just let them in there and do anything they wanted to her. You can't do that. If FBI cannot tell someone they can have someone stalked and go in someone's home, it's up to, 10 to 20 years? They can't get permission for that. Even the FBI has to have a court order. He's not God, and he can't just tell, and they didn't report it to the police. That was a lie. Because I went to the Portage County Sheriff's for Venom Police. They didn't know anything. How I told them. Why? Because April 16, 23, across the parking lot, Danny and Jen walk up to Gabe and Chad, finally went to Dad, ask him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in our home before. Pete has a frame. Pete has her tape, the filthy, dirty statement. Not a doctor. Huh? Not a doctor. Just some guy Dave hired on his own. Never talked to him, never met him. Was that Pete or was that Agent John? Because people were acting today that that was Agent John. Then, on top of it, he said, and he can't do it, it's a federal crime. Then he said, I already took the informant money and I passed it out to any, the whole time going along. He said, I found out even Carp helped him. Dr. Carp. That when they had the surgery while she was drugged up, had him taper and tell, da 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 da. He was chuckling. Tell him I'll give him some money if he don't tell what's going on. I've been passing out the informant money in every bit of the case since the beginning. He can't do that. Right on Google, an FBI agent takes an informant's money and passes it out to anyone he wants to. It's up to 20 years federal. He can't touch it. Get the idea? Get the idea? That's where down in Souls Palace, they said they were acting like that was that agent over my case, Agent John. He's already confessed that he's been giving out the money since the beginning of the case. There's nothing to steal from. Why are people harassing her? Because they promised him somebody could steal it, and they lied to him and tricked him. Tricked him into helping out. And he can't give it out. It's a federal crime. And I keep turning around looking at him. He said that attorney that I told him to just go ahead and let him go in there and do whatever they want to. He can't do that. And I was never weird with myself. And are you some kind of fucking retard? Are you really some kind of fucking retard? See, it's either somebody impersonating Agent John or it's Agent John confessing like Henry Moffitt. It's a win-win. Because my phone is tapped by the police. And like a sheriff said, one of us have to document or verify everything every day for the FBI case. So they had to document and verify it. People showed up today. Before we got to Souls Palace. And was saying, boy, we all heard what that guy said. Investigators are supposed to check and see if that was Agent John in there confessing. He's been passing out that money to everyone since the beginning of the case. It better not be Agent John. Because if so, we got him. Admitting to stealing from the federal government. My God. Like they said, it is a win-win. We got somebody either impersonating Agent John or we got him nailed for admitting to stealing our money and giving it away. It's a win-win. And that guy saying, well, that tape of weird with yourself. It's a shower scene in the other room. And so where are you, a fucking retard? You know, I was in Walmart last year. And people were making fun of me for that shower scene in the other room. And some guy said, you know, we already know it's photoshopped or washing in the shower. Why are they saying something to her? Oh, they're just making fun of her because Agent John stole their money. He can't steal money from the government. He can't withhold it. He can't tell people they can't say anything. He can't tell on people. He can't employ them into false statements under threats. He can't leave you there, and he can't threaten that no one, the FBI won't help you if you tell they're involved. And then he's already admitted he had everybody in his FBI office, and they already knew. And he's already told people he knew I was being drug beat and raped and didn't care before he even talked to me. They laughed at me how they were trying to kill me, and they already told him. Then it's like, I'm stupid. Stay quiet and die. Okay. So that retard in there, they never reported it to police. I went to the Portage County Sheriff's. Said, Miss Hall, we didn't know about anybody being in your home. We had no knowledge of it. before. We weren't in your home. We had no knowledge anybody was in your home before. We weren't in your home or anybody else's home outside that protected custody case was Stevens. But that, I said, it's the Fourth Amendment. Yes. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. See, Agent John don't have the authority to tell someone just go do something. The law states you have to have a court order. Otherwise, it's illegal monitoring. Like Officer Reinhardt said, it's illegal to look and listen. Like my friend Walter from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. It's a big fraud scheme. They made the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. And another big mistake, they tried to put a dirty doctor's name on it. Yeah. And it's just some guy named Pete. Oh, people were talking about that. That doctor from before, it's not a doctor. It's just some guy named Pete they fired. They did all this. I know. You know where that Officer Mark and John, I still need you to talk to my community health, find out who was supposed to be FBI in there trying to get my medical records, where they said they were trying to trick somebody into giving them to them, saying the FBI was in there bad-mouthing me. That one doctor was talking to someone on the phone. I know you like watching her. I won't tell her what's going on. You know, in 2018, 2019, they tried to say there was a doctor from Woman Hospital that liked to watch me. Pervert. Have no right. And that he hadn't met me in person. And then they tried to say his name was Dr. Remus or Romano or I don't know, something weird. There was 3 Indian, and I doubt he works there. There was 3 Indian doctors that showed up by January 19th. They were with the Florida drug cartel. 3 generations of doctors. Youngest one named Henry, remember? And I had never met him in person. I seen him walking around saying stuff. Then people try to say they work for Altman Hospital. I doubt that one. Get the idea? Then there was a crazy blonde lady with the people that bashed my head in. That was trying to tell people she was a psychiatrist. I'd never seen her before the case, nor did I ever talk to her in person. She used to just piss me off. And then whatever she said, I went out and got the evidence against it. It's like, don't play with me, bitch. Try to say if she tells that Dave beat her, we'll say she hurt herself. So I taped that idiot admitting to beating on me. That don't play with me. I mean, she was a Looney Tune. She was drug cartel. It was all a scam. Get the idea? But that guy that was in the VA on Wise Street in Canton on Friday, April 10th, 26, between 1 and 2:30, my phone's bugged. People showed up. They heard that guy admitted he took my money and was passing it out. They said it is a win-win situation. It's either someone impersonating Agent John or they have his confession that he took her money and was just handing it to anyone and just giving it out. And he was allowing these people to do this. Some lady said that she already figured the way Agent John talked to me, him and that guy probably were in it from the beginning to steal money from the government, and that's why this happened. See, Agent John, that's where I keep telling you, I pray for you. I pray for you. To say this was you were just scamming them and make everything right with me. But you know what? I can't be your moral compass. And then they're going to go for the case to get thrown out against the drug cartel. Then they're released under fraud. They've already announced their plans. See, these people run around, oh, there's an attorney. If you say something, they'll get you money. They can't give you money for saying something. And see, that's where they were investigators were saying last year when they were saying, oh, they're going to get money for the tape and whatever they're talking. They looked at them and laughed and said, we already know it. It's already documented. It was photoshopped or washing in the shower. Why are they doing this? Person with them said they're making fun of her because Agent John stole her money. He said, well, you don't get money for being offended. Even if something horrible like that would have happened, you still wouldn't get money for it. You don't get money for being offended. It's per documented injury that you had to be seen in a hospital, basically. Pictures of it, of this injuries, the treatment. And then you have to have a police report, an investigation, and physical evidence that either an animal or the person did it. Otherwise, you got nothing. You don't get money for being offended. Like the guy said, you don't get money for being offended. You don't. This is how dumb these people are. Think they can make up any scenario in the world, and then photoshopping, and then July 26th, 25, or July 24th, 25, by 8:30 in the morning, investigator, they did a body ratio. It wasn't even me. It is a woman showering, but it's not me. They put my head on her body. And then March 1st or 3rd or 21, they said they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about her. Then later on, what you're describing as showering. Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. May 26, 22 at noon. The shower scene was photoshopped on purpose to make her look weird, and an attorney had ordered it. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. My client that I used to work for over in Navarre, like March of 22, they told her that guy Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. And she talked to the Belden FBI office in 22. Get the idea? Then we have December 1st, 25, Walmart 62, where the beautiful Michelle is telling on these people for what they're doing. Showed up at an investigator's office, said that Michelle showed up and said this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Well, that's what they're all trying to do, is scam money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. And that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. He was her doctor, and she doesn't even know who he is. I'll tell you what, it'd be time to get a new doctor for a Jack the Ripper rapist doctor. Somebody breaking in a home, drug beating, raping someone? Yeah, it'd be time for a new doctor. Not my doctor. And the tape of Weird With Yourself is just photoshopped of washing in the shower. They photoshopped everything. And they used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. She has no memory of these people. And that guy Pete that was in my office running his mouth about her, she don't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. The whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. That's all it was. That's where January 1926, Henry Maffei shows up, and how he's the one behind inciting Carl's son Rick. Inciting Carl's son Rick to go after him, to threaten him to take his farm, terrorized him. That he was glad he never met me in person. He wouldn't have got a pity date. And that he had a judge's friend. He was going to enter all his tapes in court without anybody knowing it, and have his judge's friend sign everything over to him and pull fast one on the FBI and be long gone and steal all the case's money. I thought over my dead body. I wrote the President of the United States. I wrote in FBI Internal Affairs. And see, that's where he goes, September 30th, 25 days old girlfriend, that Michelle, the other Michelle, admitted this whole thing was her family's debt to drug dealers. And that she had never met me in person. Her family was the one behind inciting Carl's family to go after him because they wanted the farm to themselves. That they even human traffic people to pay off those drug dealers. And they even knew that medication error, medical malpractice, and everything was fraud on me before, but my muscles locked up. And they knew some other lady was using my insurance, and they knew, or they said they already knew it was documented fraud, medical malpractice, medication errors, and they encouraged us to sue those doctors for years. She already knew that. So, that's where this whole thing's just a fraud scheme. People have said, even yesterday in Katanas, they pulled off the biggest con here. Biggest con. Biggest con. Get away with this. The FBI still owes me that money. Like they said, it is a win-win. They pull the surveillance off the VA on Friday. It's either somebody impersonating Agent John or they have his confession, because my phone is legally tapped by the police. And investigators have showed up. They did hear him say all that and was repeating it. Got the idea? It is a win-win. Got somebody impersonating him, or you have his confession that he stole from the case. And he's just throwing it out to anyone. Been doing it since the beginning. Like that lady said, the way he talked to her, I didn't doubt for one moment the guy that did this, he wasn't in with him from the beginning. He was helping steal from the government. You know, that's life without parole for a federal agent. That's where I tell you, I pray for Agent John that he says all this is a scam. But you can't help people that won't do what's right. But there is some guy either impersonating him or they have his confession. He can't just hand out informant money. Like they said, it's theft of government funds. If he can't withhold the money, he can't misdirect it, he can't steal it, and he sure as hell can't hand it out to anybody willy-nilly. It's theft out of government funds. See, where they go around saying, oh, some attorney's going to get you all kinds of money. They're not going to give you a dime. Not a fucking dime. They're just scamming you. Where they said last year on May 25th, 25, that Bill from the Freemason ran the biggest scam of the photoshopped washing and the drug confession, then scammed everybody and helping out by saying if you pull the biggest, best scam, you could win the money. That's where they keep telling people they're going to give them money, they ain't going to see a dime. It's a big fraud scheme. Now, the FBI still owes me that money for working the case. I would like that, Agent John. I like my money, a new name for me and Carl. Carl likes Fred, not Frederick, but Fred. Danny started calling him Farmer Fred. He thinks it's cute. We need medical cards. We can live our life in peace anywhere. We don't have to worry about Rick trying to kill Carl. Or me. Or ever finding us. And he never, and his stepchildren, never need to terrorize him again. He's 80 years old. Oh, and for that bitch that showed up today, you're right, I don't know you, nor did I turn around. And if you ever threaten to take my husband, I will turn around and I will get a picture of you, and I will turn you over to the police for threatening to kidnap my husband. And no, I don't know who you are, nor will you leave threats with me, so that means you're a riffraff, because a real investigator wouldn't do that. And what happens in my marriage is none of your damn business. See, that's where she's like, well, I notice she catches herself and she doesn't get angry as bad. Well, when we first moved out, everybody was in pure horror and running for our lives. I wanted to move off, get another mobile home, get the hell out of here. I wanted to sell the farm to the highest bidder so we had money. I could just retire and we could just go. Get the hell out of here. He's threatening to kill everybody. He's beat a horse, poisoned a cat. This is crazy. He's breaking our home. We need to get the hell out of here. Like Deputy Cox said, get out of here. And I couldn't even get him to stay in a hotel. And once the farm was sold, and everybody's, you know, I can't even get him to leave staying with an extended family member. He's so scared he won't move. Then he starts snapping at me. The person that had to pack up everything, living in a tiny room, and I'm working at nights, coming home, getting him. And then he's being mean to me, and then anything I ask him for, he'd do the opposite like a spoiled child. I don't deserve to be disrespected. And then we ended up in this tiny apartment, and it was so filthy when we moved in. We had to put a lot of money into it. We had to buy a new refrigerator, a new stove. Bought cabinets to put my dishes in. We put a double-side tape carpet down in the basement. Made a family room out of it. It's actually really pretty. It's like walking into a split-level house almost. You just, from the 1970s, you walk down, it's an open basement. And it looks cute, but it took a lot of money and a lot of work. And I work full-time. And, and then he started having panic attacks. All these people, how they're coming for him, they're going to kill him. And scared out of his mind. And I can't have him melt down that they're getting in his head and they're playing with him and he needs to stop. And so he's going to start counseling. And he has to keep an eye on his sugar if it's high or low. He has a meter. And he knows to pack orange juice, water, a banana, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And he needs to make sure he has everything he needs for him. Insulin, needles for the insulin, the swabs. He's a grown-ass man. He doesn't need me to pack all that stuff. He needs to pack it himself every day before we leave. So we are ready for any kind of sugar highs or lows. And I don't want to have to turn around and come back or make a trip to a pharmacy and put a lot of money into stuff. See, we could have rented another mobile home. We could have felt like we actually got out of this. But no, we're stuck in a tiny little home. And, I fixed it up cute. But am I happy or no? I felt free in the mobile home. Would love to have another one. Felt like I had a house again. Carl said it was the nicest home he ever lived in, and that's sad. He's 80. Should have been able to enjoy it till he died. But these people couldn't let us live there. They terrorized us out of it, broke in our home, stole stuff, played with our food. That's why, where Deputy Cox said, "This is crazy. Get him out. Take your husband and run." He's got so many people involved. They already said it. When they find Carl, they're going to kill him. So I was going to get him further and further away. But I couldn't get him to go. He sold it. Danny said, "I'll lock it down. I'll make sure Rick's chased off so you can go down and see your farm." And he grew up there since he was like 4 or 5. It was only Carl's. It was never Rick's. Rick was never entitled to it, nor was any of his other children. You don't have to leave your kids anything. You can leave it to the Humane Society. You can leave it to Joe Schmo from Kokomo. You know what I mean? It's nobody's business because it's yours. Just like it's nobody's business who he spends his money on or what I spend my money on my husband. See, that's where these people have this God thing, that they think they're God and ruler over everybody. They can just steal, harm, destroy. They can't. There's laws that stop it. So us having words here or there, yeah, we hardly ever fought. We had such a sweet, kind marriage, and we had some arguments since we moved in here. And a lot of it was hurt and pain of losing that home and losing everything. It devastated both of us. We'd drive by and sit outside and just cry. We would just bawl our eyes out, full of tears. It was devastating losing that home. We both loved it. and then being terrorized out of it. And then he was so scared I couldn't get him to move. And I couldn't even get him to stay in a hotel. We had no private time, hardly at all. And then he wanted in this horrible place, and it smelled like something died in here. We had to bleach. It was horrible. And it's actually clean and it's cute now. But it took a lot of money that I didn't want to put in this place. But it's nice. We got a workout room. We got a treadmill. We got a rowing bench. We got a stationary bike that used to just sit on the floor. TV downstairs and a chair and a love seat. And we got the carpet. And it's actually really cute with end tables and things. It's actually really cute. And it makes the apartment feel bigger and super tiny. It's a usable space now. But then he can't take him down to his daughter, Desi, and her sitting there talking for 2 hours how Rick's going to kill him when he finds him. Get him away from there, and he has a meltdown in public. Oh my God, he's going to kill me. And he's screaming. I can't have him do that in public. He's going to counseling now. And they're going to put him on meds for his nerves because he's scared to death and he's 80, and they're going to push him into a heart attack. And if I have to yell at him to stop letting these people get in your head and scare you this bad. See what I mean? Us having little arguments of stop this, stop that. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to his sugar, if it's too high or it's too low, it's not a request. His sugar hits 70 or lower, you go get some juice right now. It's not a request. I'm telling you, get that juice. Because he could die. Because it dropped from 70 to 53 within a matter of minutes. Because he'd been downstairs working out, came up and sat down. He burned off all that sugar in his system. He needed juice right away. Just like if he eats too many carbs, he's got to have water or insulin to bring it back down. He has a meter and he's learning to control it better. But we have episodes of highs and lows of sugar. That's not an option. It's what you need to do medically, and you need to listen to me now. That's not me being mean or controlling. That's me telling him he has to have juice. He has to have water. You have to have insulin. Because he's putting his life at risk. And what I talk about with my husband is none of your fucking damn business, woman. Oh, she better watch her mouth. Fuck you. Fuck you. You need to learn to watch your mouth. And don't you ever act like you can come in my home and remove my husband. My husband is a spoiled man, and he'll tell you he's a spoiled man. He'll tell you he's never had it so good in his life. That he's got all new clothes and new shoes and new coats and new hats. He's got all his favorite foods and even ones that are sugar-free versions. Do you understand? And all kinds of sugar-free treats. And he's never even had anybody cared enough to do any of this. And I'm the one getting him counseling. I'm getting him one medicine. I'm the one that takes him to his doctor's appointments out of town. Like my son said, you're the one that's the only one advocating for Carl. And you're his biggest advocate. So, bitch, you think you're in a threat and you're going to remove my husband? You put a hand on him and you'll be in jail. Because, yeah, your hand will be removed very quickly. And don't you ever threaten my husband that you'll kidnap him. Because you're not a real investigator, or you wouldn't have opened your fucking damn mouth. Because, like everybody said, even the cops have said, had even told them, they even know she's trying to get him to stop panicking. And so he don't go into a heart attack. You have to be direct to people that's having a meltdown to stop. You can't act like this in public. Breathe. They're getting in your head. They're just giving you panic attacks. Yeah, there's a threat. Yeah, it's real. But they're not here right now. And stop letting them scare you to death, because you have to speak louder than the fear. And see, that's where people said the police even knew she's just trying to not let him get lost in fear. So who are you, fucking bitch? Don't ever show up and say a damn word like that again. I'll get your picture and I'll send you in the police and I'll put it up on social media sites that you're threatening to kidnap elderly people. I ain't gonna play with you people no more. Don't act like you're big in something, because you ain't nothing but a piece of shit. Pulling a scam. See, I normally have a very sweet, kind marriage. We go for rides, we go out to eat, we go shopping, we go visiting. We we exercise. We have a really, really sweet life. As long as we don't have to deal with Brenda's kids or his crazy son Rick. They don't even want to rob and harm him. People that almost beat him to death. You know what? And that's where I'm so tired of these people. I am so tired of them. Don't you ever show up where I'm at again. Because you say something stupid, I'll get your picture and I'm going to put you on every social media that you're threatening to kidnap an 80-year-old man. Because a real investigator wouldn't open their fucking damn mouth. I work with a handicap. People's guardians and social workers, they are for the client's best interest. Okay? There's a lot of tough love. A lot of tough love. There's also good rewards for good behavior. And a lot of tough love. And they can't always be nice. They're direct. I'll tell you what. I went with a client to a psychiatrist. We sat down. He had anger issues. And there were some big problems. I told him I'd rather sit outside. Please go in with me. I sat down. And that doctor went mama bear on him. You will not do this. You will not do this. I looked at her. I said, it's very nice to meet you. I'll wait out in the car for you. Excuse me. And I left. I left him alone for her to scream at him. Because he needed to stop. Because guardians, social workers, we look at them like parents. The final say. See what I mean? There's a lot of tough love. And the good for people to grow, to be safe, and to have the safest environment. And not let them get lost in fear, bad situations, bad behavior. And to correct it with love, but firmness. I learned a lot from him working with agencies that deal with clients like this for 6 years. It's never being cruel when you're direct. And you speak louder than the fear. And don't let them get lost in it. Or louder than the situation. Because if you don't, then it's actually neglect. I had to yell louder than 2 men threatening to beat on each other, and one threatened a knife one. My God. I went mama bear. You get to your apartment, the other one to the other one. And I was in the middle of them screaming louder than they were. It's like, dear God, I'm too old for this. Agent John, I'd like my money. If not, someone does need to arrest him. Because he has confessed. Like they said, boy, do they have him if that's him. He admitted he stole government funds and he was just handing it out to anyone. It's 20 years to life. I like my money. You cannot withhold it. You can't ask somebody to stay quiet. You cannot misdirect it. It's for getting you information only. It's a federal crime. If you tell an informant they can't say anything, it's considered blackmail. Then you've already told them it's stupid. And then you confessed on a recorded line. You don't have the right to tell anybody they can't help me. That's another 20 years. You can't tell me, you can't bully me into false statements. And you knew where Officer Mark and all of them, they always knew the taser for were them and not me. They always knew. They knew it was photoshopped to washing and drugged until it was safe for.